Salutations, random YouTube viewers, also known as us in the future, when we look back on this game, because we are the only people that watch our sessions, even though we actually can't watch our sessions because I set them all to private and forget to put them public. So, with
Yeah, my
that being
favorite part
said,
about this is that your intro was cut off because it took like 3 seconds for it to get to live.
what, really?
Yeah. At least from my screen. You started live at, well, I don't know, like 5 seconds into your thing.
It looked fine on my screen.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I mean, we might need to restart because my intros are always gold. So,
You'll never
anyway.
get worse than the one we'll force you to redo.
Oh, the bonds thing?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Alright, no bonds today. Those were severed long ago. Alright. So, Master of the Dungeons, Illios campaign, session 26. Yeah, I guess I won't name it like I haven't been doing. Alright. So, these are our players. Yeah, right. I'm gonna say it every time from now on. Just like I repeat nearly everything that I say. Okay, these are our players. We'll go from top to right to bottom. Got that? You got that.
So are we starting with Wesley, then to Logan, then to me, and then to Ryan?
Oh no.
Yes.
Cool.
Do what feels natural.
So we'll start with me, and then we'll go to Logan, and then we'll go to Wesley, and then all the way over to Ryan.
Do it.
Finish it.
Send it.
Whatever your heart desires.
So I'm Julian, and I'm playing Milo, and I'm the only not cool one that doesn't have his overlay. So that's how you'll know it's me.
Shame.
Shame.
We do not hold technical difficulties above. I don't know what the hell. I'll shut up.
Okay, well, I am Logan, and I'm reprising my role as Illios, the Lionheart, Paladin of Vilmater.
Alright. And I'm Wesley, and I'll be playing Omen, whose role is yet to be determined.
I'm Ryan, and I'm playing Noki, the gnomish gunslinger.
And I'm Molly, playing, as always, the nervous DM.
All right, everyone. As many monkey wrenches as you can conjure.
As per usual.
Just throw them at me. Just do it. Oh, all right.
That needs to be my spiritual weapon in a game. Is just a wrench with the head of a monkey.
All right. Did you just?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right. You're not allowed to use that die this session.
Coming your way, Molly. Yeah, you want it? Come and take it. Come and take it.
I just might during the break. All right. So, realized I didn't do a recap, but I think y'all don't need a recap. Right? Y'all good? Y'all remember? It was 3 weeks ago instead of like 4 months ago this time.
I mean, that's
The
true.
recaps aren't for us; they're for the viewers.
Yeah, Molly.
Recap for the viewers. Oh, well, the viewers are us.
All right, scary chick Maliki Nalakur is in charge at the fort. We rolled several 20s in a row, and she basically bowed down to us.
With an asterisk. With a pretty big asterisk. All right. Yep, so y'all dealt, I guess, yeah, just the start from the beginning. Y'all dealt with that patrol pretty dang easily, less than a round. Milo just like obliterated them with a cone of cold. Omen Omen did some shit. Gnocchi fired. Omen, did you even get to go in the combat?
Yeah, Omen mind controlled the guy.
That was during combat? That wasn't after?
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, maybe
Anyway,
not.
yeah, regardless of whether it was at the end of the combat or out of combat, Omen mind controlled the leader, Havoc Nalakur, and got him to give information on the Goliath warband that was in, or really got him to invoke the right of submission that Illios called out. And after that, he had no idea he was mind controlled, so he was just, well, for lack of a better word, he was depressed because he had no idea why he would ever do such a thing. But, it worked out. Illios, through acting honorable and presumably staying tradition and approaching his interactions from that viewpoint, was able to gain Havoc's respect a little bit. And he did tell everyone that there was a Goliath warband around 50 strong at Bleakstone, where y'all were headed. After that, y'all went to Bleakstone, rather peacefully, as in you didn't fight your way in. You were able to get in because of Havoc's cooperation, and you went forward before Maliki Nalakur, also known as the Stormbreaker, and had a hour-long tense conversation with her. Because I went back and listened, that was somehow an hour.
Holy crap.
That we were going back and forth. I know, right? And eventually, Illios, through his words, basically, you know what? You can give a pretty good summary of that, Logan.
I think it was a whole lot of like, why are you here? Illigith was like, I need to talk to somebody bigger than you. And she's like, no. And Illigith said, yes, because we're bigger than you. And some godly roles, little divine inspiration, and she essentially caved.
Yep, so I remember basically just that the audacity of your words, the strength of your stance, and your unbreakable will and determination. She got a little bit of respect for you. Jumped down from the little stand she was on, the wooden platform. Got right in your face. You didn't break. And she said that she would take you before the Blood Wolf, like you asked. And it is at that moment that we will begin. So, Maliki Nalakur, the Stormbreaker. Let me get her picture up. And go full screen. Maliki Nalakur, the Stormbreaker, says those words. I shall take you before the Blood Wolf. And turns around, walks a couple paces, and then turns back around. But to honor these words, something more is owed to me, Lionheart. Stormbreaker throws the firearm at her back to the ground, unfurling the whip at her side. The Goliath warriors that have been surrounding you, firearms at the ready, in this town square, noticeably change their expressions, but none move forward. They look like they're anticipating something. Stormbreaker speaks again. I must see, feel, and know the depths of your strength, as I have come to know your will. Stormbreaker cracks her whip in an arc behind her, the raised wooden platform where she once stood crashing to the ground, sending debris flying and the pinned dwarves behind her into a panic. In this I show you my respect, as is befitting of the people. Do you disagree, Lionheart?
I see no reason for such a display. But I will not deprive you or your audience. And Illigith will take his shield and, with a thud, set it to the side.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll initiative. Alright, what'd you get?
5.
5. I can guarantee she got a lot more than 5. Alright. So, standing before you, she says, if you could get your companions to step back. This is a duel, and I would not have them interfere. Yeah.
So be it.
Alright. I take it you tell them to move back.
I mean, they have ears.
Yeah.
Alright.
We can't
Oh, yeah.
understand anything being said.
Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
um, Milo kind of looks at y'all and says, "Oh, you don't." He like steps back and sees no one else does, and then he's like, "Oh, they're about to fight. We should probably step back. They're engaging in a duel of sorts, and Illigith has requested that we give him room to maneuver."
Noki stares down Milo and says, obviously, and as he steps back.
And as Illigith also backs, kind of backing up to make room as well, he turns kind of quickly to all three of you and speaks in common. Any dirty moves, do not spare her.
Milo nods.
Alright. So as the party complies and moves back, the Goliaths that are surrounding y'all, about 15, 20 feet away, in this circle, in this town square, begin to thump the butt of their firearms on the ground rhythmically. As Stormbreaker gets into position, whip at the ready, kind of slowly walking around you, Illigith, about 15 feet away, staring at you, taking in your stance, your expression. Show me where the strength of your will comes from. And in a flash from nothing, she moves forward, the whip arcing out in three separate lashes. She's in front of you, but then she's not. She's to your right, to your left, lashing out these attacks. Your AC without the shield is 18, right?
That should be correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so 2 of these managed to land their mark, and you're going to take 18 points of damage. And she stands there, kind of dancing around you, keeping her distance with this whip, seeing what you're going to do next.
Illigith keeps his eyes trained on her, but does not so much as flinch from any of these blows. He understands that any sign of weakness could expose or undermine their ultimate goal, as is Goliath culture.
All right. The rhythmic beat of the Goliaths with their firearms have not stopped, and she notices that you don't move, taking the hits. And she smiles. Fine. So be it. She lashes out once more, a whip going to your face, attempting to distract you, but it whips around, attempting to catch your leg as she goes in to try and trip you, to get you on the ground. This would just be in athletics. Oh.
Okay. Well, that is a 19.
Okay. The first whip strike that was meant as a distraction glances off your armor, and she gets her whip around you, but she's not able to take you to the ground. What do you do as she struggles to get her whip free?
From or did it get caught on something? Like what?
Basically, how I see it, the whip is wrapped around you. You won. You're not letting go of the whip.
Oh.
Okay. We'll say this: whip unwrapped. She goes at you for one final strike, or for one final strike.
Sure. I mean, Illios is just here.
Yeah, for a strike. You're still not moving. What are you doing as that last attack comes at you?
I mean, Illios doesn't do anything. And it's designed to be infuriating. If she's so tough, well, let's see what she can do.
All right.
I mean, that's right. The disrespect is real. This is got to be humiliating. She's done absolutely nothing.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So at this display, I'm like this time you didn't even take a hit because you were able to deflect each of these things. Still not moving, still looking at her. Gaze not wavering. She kind of furrows her brow. She looks around, glances to the Goliaths that are watching. Narrows her eyes and leaps forward with the whip. Okay. So this time three of them hit you. Okay. With that, you're going to take 20 points of damage, and this time, seemingly goaded by you, she's in a little bit closer than she has been. As in, she is no longer at range. She is now within melee. Okay. Still seeing that. Seeing that you're taking these hits, still not moving, seemingly shrugging them off. Kind of with this furious growl, she slaps the whip on the ground to bring up dust, and immediately tries to get the whip around your legs to trip you once again.
Do I get like a save for the dust or like?
So, sure, go for it.
Well, okay. That's like a 7.
Okay, essentially what that means is you're kind of caught by surprise as the whip comes through the dust to once again try to trip you.
So, are we competing athletics again?
Yes.
Well, that's a natural 1. No need to roll a disadvantage. Maybe she'll finally do something.
Oh, okay, so she trips you. You're on the ground now.
All right. As the dust clears, carried away by a crisp northern wind, Illigith is solemn. His palm and knee planted, he feels the silty soil, gathering it between his fingers. Time slows a bit, and his memory overcomes his senses. The midsummer sun sets slowly over Dungairn, the valley of green spirits. Lokir the oak, high chief of the Thunuk Avan, sat comfortably on his oaken throne, overlooking the valley below. He admired the rich pink and red hues that painted the sky. Illigith, he spoke. His rich, bellowing voice echoed throughout the landscape. Illigith the younger grimaced. He stood, goaded by the rage. Clenching his fists, he swung at his eldest brother, Raylock. But Raylock the Owl was known for his martial prowess, and anticipating the attack, he stepped aside, grasping Illigith's wrist and flinging him into the oaken stump where their father sat. Illigith coughed loudly and did not attempt to stand. High Chief Lokir remained composed. A smile escaped the corner of his mouth. Closing his eyes and breathing deeply the warm summer air, he spoke. Raylock, speak to the council. I fear they will again postpone the winter gathering. This is unwise, for the land wishes to sleep. The snow will fall thick in the coming season. Share with them my concern. As you will, my chief, answered Raylock dutifully. Lokir's eldest was comfortable with the idea of succeeding his father as chieftain, and he relished the opportunity to sharpen his diplomatic skills. He turned with a smile, leaving Illigith alone with the High Chief. Are you ready to receive your task, Illigith? Manhood now stands within your reach, if only you would grasp it. How can you be so sure, father? My spirit is willing, aching, in fact, to become a man, but the rage. The wolf gnaws at the door to your soul, interrupted Lokir. Shield your heart and grant him no ground. Stand fearless before the rage in your blood, for by it we sow nothing but grief and tears, finished Illigith. Lokir chuckled in the face of solemnity. The council is nearly as eager as you are, Illigith. Illigith stood and, brushing the dust from his wolf pelt tunic, walked to the ledge. The sun now rested below the horizon, coloring the sky a smooth violet. I will call a meeting of the council. Steel yourself, my son. Welcome their task. Observe their collected wisdom, guided Lokir. And above all, be prepared for anything. Illigith clenched his fist and stood, goading the Stormbreaker to approach. Menacing and arrogant, she twirled her lengthy whip, waiting for Illigith to blink. And so he did. The whip cracked. Maliki Nalakur was a master with her weapon, nigh unrivaled in the north for her incredible strength and reflexes, but Illigith was no mere mortal, for he proudly carried the banner of Ilmater, the crippled god, the one who endures, and Ilmater smiled upon his courageous warrior. In an instant, Maliki grovels before the Lionheart, her neck beneath his boot, and the whip bound tightly to Illigith's iron wrist. Sorry for the setup.
That's good.
Have you had enough of your pleasures? Nalakur.
kind of growling beneath you. She tries to position herself to push herself off the ground. But is not able to move.
Yeah.
Under
After
the weight.
she fails the first time, he removes his boot. He unravels the whip and hands the rest of it back to her, helping her up.
Yep. So as soon as you took the as soon as you take the boot off her neck, she kind of gets up. Takes a few steps back and gets into a combat stance, kind of panting from the effort of trying to, get you off of her, but you released her, and she still has the fight in her eyes, but she notices that the rhythmic beat of the Goliaths have stopped. And she looks around at them still. And then looks to you.
I did not come here to play games, Maliki.
Yep, so she still stares at you. You still have her whip in hand. Is your arm still outstretched with the whip?
It is.
Yeah. This was no game. This was a test of strength. To see if you could back up your words. She steps forward and takes the whip.
And as she attempts to take it, of course, Illigus still has it firmly in his hand. The state of the world hangs in balance. And here you are, enslaving dwarves. There is so much more that is happening in this world. Now, please, take us to the Blood Wolf.
And so her hand's still on the coiled up whip. I have given my word that I would take you to the Blood Wolf. And I will. Now that I know you are not just words. I respect you, Lionheart, your gall and your ability. It has been long since one has made a mockery of me, so these dwarves are ours by right of conquest. The things in this city are ours by right of conquest. It all belongs to me. No, not me. The people. It is not my right to deny them the spoils.
For now, you may keep everything else. But the dwarves are not it. The dwarves must be released. And we will release them whether or not you approve. Please, let us not make any more mockery of you today. I can roll if you want.
Go for it.
Well, it's not a 20, but it's not shabby. It's an 18.
Okay. Why do you care? As I have said, these dwarves are ours. We have beaten them. And it is our right to take them. Why would you try to deny me this right? Why do you care?
There is justice and truth in this world, Nalakur. I would not expect you to understand them, for I did not. For I did not. While the things of this world may be fought for, bought, stolen, the people are not up for grabs. Not here, not anywhere. No more than you would be. I am honestly asking myself why you care so much. Or are you just too lazy to do your own work?
She is looking at you, and as far as I'm aware, like, neither of y'all have let go of that whip yet. Unless you gave it to her.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't explicitly say, like, he said what he needed to say. It was like, there are things way bigger at play. We're wasting time, and he let it go. I just didn't say that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Understood. Yeah, so she has the whip kind of coiled at her side again. She said...
Yeah, he wasn't trying to, like, tease her with it.
Yeah, no, I know. I know that wasn't the intention. So, It looks like she's debating something in her head, kind of staring at you. We do not take these dwarves for slaves. The Blood Wolf requires them. He requires them to uphold an oath. They are needed for the advancement of our people. I am here by the Blood Wolf's will, to do as he commands me, for he is my chieftain, and I his war captain.
If not for slaves, then what is it? And if you cannot tell me, take me to Bloodwolf now, so that he can. But the dwarves will not stay with you. That is final. Illios lifts his shield from the ground.
What's the rest of the party doing?
Standing and watching.
Standing and watching.
I've been translating to the party. I just didn't want to interrupt.
Smart man.
So I'm just like occasionally I'll lean over and whisper into Omen and Noki.
Hey, Molly, if I'm looking around to the other Goliaths, because they're still all there with their guns, what are they doing and what's their expression? Like, what's the atmosphere like? Is it tense? Is it, can you kind of give me some more detail?
Yeah. So the atmosphere here is incredibly tense. The Goliaths that had kind of put their firearms down to their side now have them at the ready. And when I say at the ready, I don't mean they're pointing them. But they have them in grip, in resting position. Okay. Okay. I apologize, Logan. The very last thing you said, what was it?
Oh, I said the last thing I said was that is final.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't know what I said exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
The dwarves.
You
The dwarves are freed. That's it.
Take me to the Blood Wolf. The dwarves will not go with you. That is final.
Yep.
That's what he said. And
Not
sorry,
stay with you.
Sorry guys, fellow DMs, y'all get it. I got a million things swirling around in my head right now. Right. I am not. As I have said, I am here by the will of the Blood Wolf. The dwarves are required. If I go back without them, it will be deemed a failure. A failure to the people, not only the Blood Wolf. We need them to go as we have. I will take you to the Blood Wolf. But the dwarves will come with us. They will not be harmed. They will be fed. They will not be injured in any way. But they will come with us.
Fine. But they will be overseen by our people. Come, let us tarry no longer.
She raises an eyebrow at All right. This is our agreement then. They will not be harmed. They will be overlooked by your people. If there are any movements to free them, to break away.
No, Maliki, you are not in any position to make demands. Please, quit talking. We will move now, Illios says very loudly.
Initiative.
The entire party's like, swing first! Swing first!
As Milo translates this, Noki kind of steps forward towards Illigith and speaking to him. I believe Illigith knows Gnomish, right?
Huh?
Wait,
You
what?
know Gnomish, right?
No.
I thought you did.
And
And he goes with
an
comment.
8 intelligence.
It's 5e, you don't need intelligence. So he just goes in comment and he kind of whispers it, but loud enough for you to hear. He goes, don't forget about our friends outside the gate, or outside the city.
Referring to our men, right?
Yeah, the dwarves and Raymond.
Right. Mm-hmm. Illigith nods in confirmation with a. That is exactly what he's talking about. Just FYI, that's a that kind of nod.
Yep.
He's not talking about you.
Yeah, and if I recall, the very last thing that they were told is they're kind of hiding out in the outskirts, and that if they were given a signal, I think like Milo's firebolt or something
Or
like
gunshot.
that, or gunshot or just something. If they were
Comrades.
given a signal, then they would move in. That was the last thing they were told.
So Noki's just reminding Illigith he's not stepping over anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let you do it.
All right. So, Stormbreaker barks her orders to the other Goliaths.
What are they?
Yeah, what are they?
We can understand her.
Sorry, Molly.
Yep. She barks her orders to the other Goliaths to start mobilizing. to gather up everything from the city that they can, being the dwarves, food stuff, anything like that, the spoils of their war.
Do we have any way to communicate with the dwarf? No, we don't. We don't, other than the flare. Okay, just anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yep, so she does so, and it takes a little while, but yeah, essentially they pack everything up, they get their dire meats all up in order, they start, well, I guess I would say Goliath start to get into position at the pens where the dwarves are being kept, and begin releasing them. I guess under your supervision, they're of course all around you. Still, these Goliaths surrounding you as these dwarves are let out. None of these dwarves have weapons. They are civilians. You do not see any soldiers amongst them that you can tell. And they're, essentially complying to what the Goliaths are doing.
Noki's going to intertwine himself with the dwarven captives and travel in their midst.
Okay.
And he's going to go to like an elder dwarf or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to ask if there were any fighting men left, or are they being held somewhere else? Were they all killed? What happened to them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you do this, the Goliaths don't stop you from doing so. I'm mingling within them, and he just kind of looks at you. This elderly dwarf, this big long gray beard. He's probably in his 300s, maybe older. This is a dwarf. He's got bags under his eyes. He doesn't look like he's slept in a long time, probably since the occupation started. And he'd reply to you in a dwarvish. All of the soldiers were taken first, in the first wave. Those that did not die. By the whatever those weapons are. You have them. And kind of noticing the guns on your back.
We call them guns or firearms. They use this newly discovered crystal as a magical focus that blasts energy. And my friends and I here, kind of gestures to his friends where they are. We'll make sure you are protected. No harm comes about you. And I will stay here with you. With all of you.
Yeah, I'm at your words, kind of saying that you'll stay with them and that you'll protect them. He kind of he kind of looks at you like he doesn't really believe you. And he says, "Thank you for the words, at least. Those weapons are atrocious." And
mine are a whole lot better than theirs.
Yes, they are. And as they're kind of everyone's getting together and everyone is mobilizing the Goliaths with the food supplies takes them a little bit to raise the fields, a little bit outside, get as much grain and other stuff as they can take. Again, the spoils of their war, and as everyone is mobilizing after a couple hours to leave to leave Bleakstone, one of the things that you can see as they're as it takes a couple of Goliaths, or actually at this point it would just be being pulled by a couple dire meese. Yep, still going with meese. It's not mooses. A couple of dire meese. Is this large looking metal contraption, cylindrical, that seems to be made out of the same metal, a strange black metal that these guns are made out of, the Goliaths have. This thing is huge. To put it in our terms, guys, it's essentially a big ass cannon. That they are pulling along.
Nokia is taking mental note after mental note of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he will draw it up tonight.
Yep. You kind of put, yeah. So as everything is mobilizing, getting into gear, Ryan talked to the elderly dwarves. Anything y'all are doing? I know y'all got that squad, the Dwarven Rangers, out there. Don't really know what y'all are gonna do with them, or if you would try to
Milo's
communicate with
staying
them.
pretty close to Omen, but he's just following everyone else's lead.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, it's going to take them a while. Gnocchi. Will you please?
The dwarf.
Will you please rally our friends? They will oversee the dwarves.
Noki nods to you and then turns back to his new elder friend and repeats what he'll be right back. He has some dwarven friends that are going to help in the protection.
Kind of as you do that, Illigith places his hand, a finger on your shoulder. To kind of turn you back around, kind of getting on a knee. Do you think this is wise?
Taking them with us? Or
all of it?
What do you mean?
All of it.
He's kind of stuck in thought now. I really do not know this culture, this life, or really what's being said at all. But if you believe that they will be an asset to us, then I believe we'll have to keep going with the way we're going.
All right. I will leave it up to you on how many men you choose to reveal. Yeah, your mother guide you. As he stands looking for... Oh boy. Illigith nods, looking around for Maliki. He doesn't want to stay far from her, or at least not really wanting to be out of earshot of her.
Yep. And I'm Gnocchi. So you're going to talk with the Dwarven.
Correct.
You're on to talk with them. Okay. So as you kind of go and a Goliath puts his hand on your shoulder. Not a finger, a hand. on your shoulder. And he says in broken common, "Where go? Stay here."
Noki takes a deep breath and friends. He begins to walk away again.
Oh, like you're still walking away?
Yeah, he tries to like slip from the guy's hand and walk away. Continue on with what he's doing. From Noki's perspective, he owes this guy nothing.
Okay. So as you continue to walk away from him, this Goliath kind of barks something, and three other Goliaths kind of join him and start and raise guns. Stay here.
Yeah, just let me know when I hear this.
How close are they to me? Are they like on
Like
top of me, or are they 10 feet away?
Probably like 10 feet from you. You can hear the noise of the guns being cocked. Illios. I mean, the party is aware of this.
Oh.
Unless Gnocchi was trying his best to sneak out.
No. He's retrieving friends. We told him we had friends. We didn't really mention that they were outside or anything, but we said we had friends. And so Noki's hands that have been behind his back the entire time, one comes out, his main hand, pistol drawn. As the other one comes around, he receives a second pistol from its holster. And he aims one at the guy in front of him that's been talking, the other to his left, and continues to like walk away backwards towards the gate.
I walk up to them and speak in Giant. We did say we had friends who were helping us. He is only going to go get them. We are not your quarry. And he uses minor illusion to make the dog start to look like it's becoming more menacing.
Mm. Right. Y'all did say y'all had friends outside the city?
Nope.
No, I said our people would look over the dwarves.
Our people. Okay. So at that, I think at this point this is pretty much a scene, right? Because you got Goliaths pointing guns at Gnocchi. Gnocchi has his dual pistols out, kind of slowly backing away as is happening. Milo comes up. At this point, Stormbreaker will get involved. She'd say, "What is the meaning of this? What is going on?"
What does she say? Shouting at Milo.
She says it Goliath.
She's asking what is happening.
And he kind of motions for Milo to, step towards him and away from the Goliaths, just in case.
And as Gnocchi continues, I guess, backing up, Illigith, of course, was not far from Stormbreaker. Is there a problem?
Why is your friend attempting to leave?
Illigith's face gets very close. I am not sure why this is your concern, but I did say our friends will oversee the dwarves.
What are these?
Do you have any more questions?
She asked that question. You cut her off, probably.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
assume-
about right.
Yeah. They will be guarded.
Is that
Yeah.
what she says?
Yeah, I mean,
What? They will be guarded. Okay, what? I mean,
when you said friends will oversee. All right.
I
Yeah.
love this game.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
so you want to send Goliath with my men, or man? So be it. But he will go.
Yeah. Maliki nods. Kind of motions with her head for the three Goliaths that were point at you, Nyoki. Put their guns down. They're gonna go with you.
Milo, would you care to join us?
Of course. And Milo kind of is still very close. He like went from being right next to Omen, stepped forward, went to being right next to Noki.
Yeah. So Noki's cloak, which was originally wrapped like tight around him, hiding his arms behind his back and everything, is now back behind his shoulders, pistol still drawn. He turns to walk away.
Gnocchi! Remember why we are here.
He takes an armed hand and just kind of waves it back at you. And puts one away, but keeps the other one out.
Well, this is gonna be fun. All right, Nyoki. So you go over there with your little Goliath entourage. Milo, you're with him.
Yee.
All right.
Are
Okay,
we about to annihilate a whole troop of
okay, you go over there.
Yoki? You're a responsible adult, right? You'll make sure we make good decisions.
That's what Illios is for.
Oh no, we're leaving the reason behind.
All right, so Nyoki, Milo, and these three Goliaths with guns go over there out of the city. What do y'all do?
So the doors are just like kind of off the road behind some trees or something, right?
Yeah, they're just in cover. They're hiding. You can't really see them. Because they're good at their job.
Hopefully. As we get probably 100 feet or so away, Noki begins to yell in Dwarvish. 4 rangers, reveal yourself. The rest of you stay hidden.
You say this in Dwarvish?
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully they don't speak Dwarvish.
Yep. So Yep. So your words kind of ring. You don't get any indication that the Goliaths that are with you know Dwarvish.
Can I insight them?
Sure. Sure, go for it.
And then after like a
So
second
15.
thought, he yells, "Bring Raymond too." Almost forgetting his friend.
Oh boy. Okay. So they. So Julian with the 15. Excuse me, Milo. They appear to have no idea what Gnocchi is saying.
As soon as I recognize this in Dwarvish, I add on, the rest should follow behind a mile or so in Dwarvish.
And then one of them points his gun at you. No.
And then I obliterate him.
Yeah, pretty much.
He
Yep.
becomes ice and shatters. It was an
Yep.
accident.
It was an accident, I swear.
It was really cold today.
Yeah, so you said 4 Rangers and Raymond.
Correct. And then Dolgan can lead the rest.
Sure. Okay, so 4 Rangers. Exit their cover. They do not have weapons drawn. And you see with them kind of poking his head up, Raymond, just kind of looking at everything with your Goliath guards and whatnot as they start to approach. The Goliaths here, the Goliaths that are with y'all look alarmed at this. And honestly, they raise their guns, but they don't shoot. And they say in Giant, the enemy, or basically for you, Milo, the enemy or the dwarves. Some got away. Why are they here?
Are they pointing a gun at me?
No.
Okay.
Noki's got his both guns drawn once more.
Yeah, I say, well, we did say we brought friends. Did you expect goats?
Noki, in all seriousness, like, what are you saying?
I just said we did say we brought friends. Did you expect goats?
Well said.
And then they shoot you. No. Yeah.
I shoot first.
Keep them out here. We did not know your friends were dwarves.
I believe your orders were to escort them in. Are you going to go against her orders?
She does not know they are dwarves.
Are you presuming she's stupid?
Noki has no idea what he's saying. It's being said, but he laughs for some reason. It's just the way Milo's talking to them.
The Goliaths, the one that's been speaking, kind of, not dumbly, but just like, I don't even know if matter-of-factly is even the right way. He just says it again. Did not know these friends were dwarves.
You can't really pin your lack of understanding on your leader. You were given orders. I can easily report back that you decided to go against them.
Please do.
All right. I will make sure to let her know that you decided to go against her orders. But sure, feel free. Go back alone. We'll wait here.
Okay, so before this goes any further, as far as I am aware, just throwing this out there, no one has mentioned anything about y'all coming with dwarves, or being allied with them, or anything like that, correct?
Yeah.
I believe Illigith first mentioned in all of this
Because that would have elicited a reaction.
I guess not, because Illigith didn't care to waste time on their understanding and asked to go directly to Bloodwolf.
Okay. Yep. So the Goliath that is with you, Milo, obstinate as always. You're starting to get the picture. At least with this guy's personality. No, you will go back with us.
Why? Did you conquest us? Did you conquest me? My hound begins to get bigger, and you see shadows kind of begin to form around Milo through minor illusion.
Noki's one eyebrow raises.
I mean, just straight up intimidate him, Julian. Milo.
Yeah, I mean,
just
waiting
straight
for the
up
end of the roll.
freaking just do it. Just do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, if you're trying to intimidate him, go ahead and make that roll. Do it. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I know a lot of times I say, okay, make an intimidate check. You can also say, I'd like to try and intimidate them. So, like, also get it through my thick skull sometimes.
Okay. That is a 21 intimidation.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sorry, I'm used to just
Yeah, I know the
thinking
DM.
Yeah.
I got it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so kind of seeing this, that Goliath.
Because here's what Milo is thinking, is that they haven't conquered us. We have no obligation to follow what they are telling us. That's kind of what he thinks of the situation, but I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, so at this, all three Goliaths that are there kind of take a step back in surprise, and they do look fearful of this thing in front of them, and also shocked. They maybe they haven't seen something like this before. But the Goliath that has been speaking up to this point, I would say. Yep. Let's see. He would say, "What foul creature? We do not trust you. Come." My internet come out?
No.
No, it didn't. Okay. Okay, so I apparently can't find the words, but essentially say this. At this point, there's this tenuous quote unquote ceasefire arrangement between y'all right now. They've been introduced to information that they were not aware of, people that they've been fighting, as far as they are aware, are currently in a war with. And y'all are trying to communicate with them. And I mean, they're afraid. They are afraid of your display. But
So what are you saying?
Fine. Let's say this.
Sorry, I just don't know what.
I know. I apparently can't find the right words, so what he would say would essentially be, sure, I'll say it this way: you would jeopardize the ceasefire over this. Come back. Come back. These are enemies.
And you want us to leave them here, unattended? He looks confused, but he shrugs and then tells Noki what just happened. Because he doesn't get that reasoning.
Noki looks over his shoulder at the 4 dwarfs behind him. Yeah. They're just chilling. No crossbows not raised, no weapons out or anything. He goes, say this to them. Can their 40 Goliaths and their 40 weapons not handle 4 dwarfs? Begin to question their...
Can I roll an insight fully into trying to determine, based on the interaction I've had with him before, like in this, what their reaction to that might be, if I say that? Because that's kind of the feel for what Milo's been trying to say or do, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. So... Sure, you can make the roll.
Okay. It is D&D after all. Dice. That is not terribly high. That's an 11.
You don't know how they'll take it.
Okay. But I'm going to ask to clarify then to them in Giant. I say, you want to leave the enemy unattended out here and take us back with you. And have us go back with you. And then Milo kind of cocks his head, just waiting for an answer, as the guy's gears are turning.
Yeah, so So after a moment, he says, take them. Come. To Stonebreaker.
Milo nods. Cool. That's what we came out here to do. I tell Noki what I just said in the response. That we are taking him now.
I mean, sorry to just kind of like cut the thing, but I guess just to ask an opinion, does that reasoning not make sense? Like if they're currently at war with someone, you go out and you see someone that they are actively at war with.
I mean,
like
I understand you, but they had orders, so they're just soldiers. I mean, they've been outclassed in every way, and there's only 3 of them. I don't see how they have a leg to stand on.
And I also don't see how... It didn't make sense to me, that reasoning, only because if you're at war with them, then what that would mean is you kill them, or you capture them and bring them with you. What they were suggesting is we leave them there. Which didn't make sense. To me.
Okay.
But...
Understood. All right. So these 4 dwarves plus Raymond come back with you.
I look back at Noki and I say, perhaps explain to them the level of tense, the tensity of what they're about to walk into. Since I'm assuming Noki has a relationship with these dwarves.
Is it going to be? Are they saying like the 4 dwarfs walk in front, and then the Goliaths are going to follow behind us?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. So he says we're going to walk in. We shall walk into town and expect more of the same. Illigith will have them stand down, and we'll have this settled sooner than later. But that one there, he kind of points to the guy who's been talking the whole time. He's trying to make a name for himself. And y'all are at war after all. But everything will be fine. And then he motions for them to come with him. He'll lead the way.
All right.
I can ask Milo to follow behind the Goliaths as well.
They refuse to let Milo follow behind them.
Then he can stay next to them. I'm not walking backwards, and they're not walking behind me, or I can't see them.
You're not moonwalking?
Not anymore.
All right.
I'm fat and chubby. It doesn't go well.
Okay. What's up?
No, I'm just thinking. It's just a very weird ceasefire where one group is trying to assert dominance over the other one when it's very clearly a ceasefire. And like Logan said, we've kind of, up to this point, have shown that we outclass them. So, but that's nothing, neither here nor there. It was just a thought. Because if it's a ceasefire, then we would be on equal footing, not on them trying to force our movements.
I mean, the way Noki sees it is this guy's just trying to make a name for himself using us and the dwarves.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's just, whatever. If you shoot me first, I turn around, I shoot you 6 times, 6 seconds. So.
All right. So y'all walk in. Back into Bleakstone with these dwarves in tow.
As he walks in, he's yelling for Illigith already.
You don't hear him.
He's dead.
He's captured.
Yep. They stabbed him through the chest, and they were like, "What?"
No. You can't say that.
Hey, what time of day is it now, Moldy?
Group gas.
Yeah. At this point, if I recall, y'all walked into the city around 1, 2 o'clock. So now, probably around 5.
Is it getting dark out because it's winter or north?
Give it another hour, and the sun will be setting.
Noki, can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Ah, okay. And the dwarves can as well? I ask them in Dwarvish.
They nod.
Okay. Cool.
Debating on whether I want to do this. You know what? Screw it. Raymond would go up to you, Gnocchi, and he'd just be like, "So, what is happening?"
Does Raymond speak Dwarvish?
No.
Best friends with Dolgrim and doesn't speak Dwarvish.
Best friends is...
It's an interesting word.
Following Dolgrim for all these years. Noki hides his sigh as best as he can. He's been sighing a lot recently. And this one behind us, the one who's been speaking, appears to be trying to make a name for himself and like he's in charge when we're all on equal footing. But he can't accept that for whatever reason, and so we must have him put in his place, and Illigith and their leader shall do that.
You're saying he's an idiot?
All right, break that fourth wall, Molly.
All right. So, okay.
I want to put it nicely. Yes, right.
All right. So yeah. Yep. You'll get there. Gnocchi, you called for Illigus.
Illigith.
All right, I have used 20 points of lay on hands, by the way,
Gotcha.
myself. All right, so I don't know, Molly. You gotta let me know where I'm at, or I don't know how far along they are in progression, packing up. As far as I know, I've been helping whatever I can move something along. I'm not taking plunder, but if I'm not far from Maliki, I'm trying to offer a hand here to get this moving along as fast as I can. Trying my best to converse. I don't know how that would look, but Illigith is there.
Yeah. So at this point, guys, they're pretty much set to go en route. And at this point, they get back. Gnocchi's calling for you. They get back. Make it easy. They just say they get back to the courtyard with these doors in tow. Gnocchi's calling for you.
All right. I guess Illigith's looking for Omen, looking for that moral support that he's been trying to get from him this entire time. Not wanting to be alone here.
All I'm good for. All support.
So I guess he kind of gives that nod to Omen, as in, definitely going to need you again here. And Maliki, we will have more words.
She comes over. Sees the dwarves in tow.
I spoke before of friends. These are them. They will oversee your dwarven captives.
You did not say they were of the enemy.
You did not ask.
Well, shit, you got her there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to take a break. Let me gather my thoughts and come back to
I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, so let's just take a 10-minute break. I'd like to gather my thoughts, and we'll come back.
Cool beans.
Sounds good.
All right, Wesley.
Yeah, it's all good. I can't translate and I can't make impassioned speeches, but I'm here for moral support.
I just want you to understand what's being connotated by Illigith looking to you as, we're the only ones here. And it was a lot. That's why Illigith was just going to send Yoki so that Omen and Milo would be there still as a big presence. And as much as we are very powerful, it still was kind of a big chunk of the party. What's that? Run a break.
The rugs upstairs in the bathrooms ours or theirs?
Which bathroom?
Either.
I'm sorry, y'all. The rugs in the bathrooms upstairs, those are all y'all's, right?
You mean the bath mats?
Not the ones in the tub, the ones outside the tubs.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I say bath mat, I mean like the plush little gray things. We moved those from that bathroom to Molly's bathroom.
I think there's still one in the one that was under construction.
Okay.
It's blue. That's y'all's though, right? I think.
I don't remember.
I only remember buying the one for our shower. So I'll just say
It's
that.
squishy, it's Wesley's, and if it has little from a distance I can help. If it's squishy, it's Wesley's, and if it has the little not
Elements.
fuzzy, but the when you step on it, it feels like a bunch of little knobs. That's
that's Molly's.
That one?
Is what Julian's saying. And then if it's like a squishy one when you step on it, like the little knobs, is that one, right? And the little squishy one is in the other one. Kind of not squishier, but so that's Molly's. That's Molly's. That's Wesley's.
I like how from a distance.
That's Julian just trying to remember.
Julian is more educated on y'all's bath mats than y'all are.
Well, guess who was the orchestrator behind us getting bath mats?
Yeah, one of them is actually from my
we
old.
didn't even have one. Julian's like, you guys are barbarians. We need bath mats. Have some respect for the way you live.
Says the guy with this mattress on the ground.
How dare you? How dare you bring that up? All right, I'm going to go grab some food. All right, I'll see y'all in 15, 20, maybe 30.
Yeah, I'll see you in there, Wesley.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, nobody envies Molly. Oh.
I'm in danger.
What'd you do to Molly?
Killed me.
What's up, baby?
Good.
Hey,
So we were just waiting on Woken the entire time.
hey, Ryan, did you get darker?
Yeah.
What's that, man?
You know, my light bulb went out, right?
Okay, that was
I
a
come back, guys.
customary 10-minute break turned into 20-minute break. So, that's generally how it goes.
Sorry.
I blame
It's
Woken.
my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the blame.
Gamble time.
Okay. So, to kind of reset the scene, Milo and Yoki have just walked back. You okay there, Wesley?
If you're choking, please grab your neck.
No, I'm okay.
Logan's out of the combat. All right.
Someone cast Tasha Hideous Laughter on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
I was thinking stink cloud.
Okay. Now that Wesley is joined the living.
I have a question, Molly.
Uh-huh.
Did you call Nick?
No,
Oh.
I did not.
It would have been great if you did.
Yeah. Ugh. All right.
Oh, hey! There's comments that y'all have been putting.
Yeah. The private chat. Never go.
Thank you.
Oh no.
This is not a OnlyFans streaming, so.
All right. On that note, let's we're playing D&D, guys. This isn't. Oh my god. All right. So reset the scene. Milo and Yoki have come in, kind of escorted by these three Goliaths here, along with the four dwarves and Raymond, who is now in the city. Oh boy. Have come up, and there's a standoff between Illios and Stormbreaker. Round like 3. Round like 2 or 3. Okay. For the sake of my sanity, I'll just start it off like this. Right.
Okay, you want to go for real this time, baby girl?
He says it. Call! Call! I'm kidding.
Do you want to go for real this time? Yeah. Rip. Alright. Okay. Alright, like I said, I'm going to start here for my sanity. You did not tell me that the friends that you were with are dwarves. The ones we are at war with, Lionheart. This is important information. What do you expect of me?
I expect you to keep your word, War Chief.
My word is to take you before the
Captain,
Blood Wolf.
sorry.
Yeah. My word is to take you before the Blood Wolf. And I will. But these Lionheart bringing these dwarves into the camp, if they were out in hiding, you've kept information that you might be colluding with our enemy.
Maliki,
Illios.
do you see my armor?
I do.
Have you not bothered to ask where I got it? Your men did.
So the dwarves made it for you. Why are you really here? Are you allied
Peace.
with them? Peace? Peace. You're talking of peace.
Does
Our
your Blood Wolf talk of peace?
He talks of war. I do not know how you are from. Actually, I do. You are Thunu Gaban after all. You speak the words of Raylock. As you know, he was exiled. His rule brought upon a blight for our people. The Blood Wolf is taking steps to overcome that misstep. Do you see yourself over me? Are you in charge? Are we not capitulating? True, Nyoki.
I believe the decision for war or peace is here at stake right now in this moment. I am at liberty to decide for our people. I do not believe you are at liberty to decide for yours. Now we can walk away from this together and allow your war chieftain to decide for himself in his wisdom that surpasses your own, or you can make that decision for him. Either way, the consequences rest on your shoulders. I do not envy your position, but I am willing to defend it. Can you say the same for me?
You say war and peace is chosen in this moment. Right here. The Blood Wolf has chosen war with them. And she points at the dwarves. For all that they have done, for all that they have taken. To lead us into a new era where our people can once again thrive. We are already at war with the dwarves, Illios. So all I can see is that the option between war and peace is between you. War and peace with you. No, the Blood Wolf does not know of you. He thinks all the Thunuk are undead. He does not know of what you have done here. But what you are saying here and now is that in this moment, depending on what happens, you would go to war with all of the clans for this? She points at the dwarves they brought in. If you say yes, then you are a fool. I have offered my terms. That's great, right? Send those dwarves away. And that weird looking thing. It was Raymond. Wanting it Raymond. And I would pretend this never happened. Send them away, and we will go to the Blood Wolf, as I have promised you. You will speak of war and peace with him all you like, but we will not leave unless those dwarves go.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Gnocchi. Omen.
Yes, Papa?
Milo, yes.
Return the dwarves to their positions. Illios says in common.
I don't speak Dwarvish, so this is awkward.
Huh?
Yopi.
I believe you're all to go back to your group in Dwarvish. We've decided it's best to not push things until we can broker further peace.
And because he, and as you say that, she kind of pipes in here.
In Dwarvish?
No, not in Dwarvish.
Because she didn't hear me.
No, I know. She no. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she just says this after you're done speaking. And just so everything is out in the open. Clear. Cut. They will not follow.
I looked at Illios.
I do.
Just in case you hide something from me again. I say this now.
Addressing Illios, Noki says,
She's to have me believe that there are secrets that she doesn't have, that she has not yet revealed to me, or something like. Oh, we're just crystal clear here, but it's cool. So anyway, anyway,
I like Milo kind of says to Illios in Giant. For accusing us of putting ourselves above her people and her. She just seems to be trying often to put herself above us. But that's not my business. Sips tea.
It matters not. We will not be followed, says Illigith, clean of conscience.
Um,
I want to roll an insight. Does he want me to tell
Gnocchi,
them?
be
Gnocchi-
sure that we are not followed.
still not
Yeah.
really accepting what y'all are saying
y'all are
to him
going-
yet. He says, I'm not sure we can ensure the safety of these captives without help. Especially once we are among more. And not knowing what lies ahead for them either.
Ilmater will protect them. And us. We must move. Time is precious.
He tells these 4 dwarves to head back home, but once they are sure they aren't being followed anymore by Goliath scouts or the sort, to loop back around and catch up with the others.
They nod.
I mean, they're
Explain
freaking
this to Raymond.
Imperial Rangers after all.
Yeah, you explain this to Raymond. Yeah, so he looks like he's about to go in for a wink, then realizes that might be even too dumb for him, and doesn't do that, and risks getting shot at. So he says, "Yes, okay."
Or Illigith's disapproval.
Yep, that too. That's worse than getting shot at. All right, the 4 dwarves leave.
Holy,
Yeah, what's up?
can I read into what she said to see if she intends on sending people after them? The people we just sent out?
Sure. And also, you're sounding kind of distant.
That should be better.
Yeah, this is better.
That is 15.
I'll tell you this. She... So obviously in the past conversation, she felt as if information had been withheld from her from the previous deal that had been made, or the previous capitulation, however you want to say it. And she did not like that. So I'll give you that for your insight.
Noki's going to tell Illigith, stay by her side and do not let her take a meeting alone.
Noted.
she won't trust us, we will not trust her.
And Illigith, I don't know. Molly, are we ready to kind of
Move.
take the next step? All right,
Yeah,
so
so
yeah,
at this
kind of
point-
at the conclusion of this, people are starting to walk away, I assume. Illigith has a quick little huddle almost as he turns to all three of you. I told you this would not be easy. Please, stay strong. We will see this through. Prepare your jackets.
Just another day in the office.
Question.
All right.
In our huddle. In our huddle.
That's Wesley.
Sorry, Wesley. Go, Wesley. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You can go.
What do you mean? Omen's in the huddle.
Milo
It's a
says.
group huddle.
This is a Wesley thing. It's not an Omen thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Milo says.
No. Go on. I'll catch you at the end of it.
Milo says, question. Is there a way, I know in groups I was involved with previously, whoever was stronger or whoever showed themselves to be greater than another group, they could take control of the crew that they led. Say the only way to get this to stop and for us to have a treaty with the Goliaths is for you to be in control. Is there a way for you to challenge him officially with your whatever your what is the word? Julian is now wondering what is the word for not rituals, your
Right.
traditions. Within your traditions in which you could challenge him and three of his best warriors versus you and three of your best warriors, perhaps to gain control of his crew? If it comes to that.
I cannot expect the Blood Wolf to honor our traditions. Unfortunately. If it were to come to that, I do not believe the fight would be fair. And there is a good chance we will be overwhelmed. The goal here is to lose no lives. At all costs. And this weighs heavy on my heart. They are stubborn people. But I fear our options become very small without them.
You say that he wouldn't respect it, but do you think your people would?
In the Thunukavan, yes. Under the Blood Wolf, the Nalukur, I cannot be certain. They claim to reignite tradition, and yet they stomp all over it. They have no idea what tradition is.
All right.
We must be ever so careful. I would like to make one more point. The display today was for power, yes. But the Blood Wolf is the war chieftain. I plan to show him nothing but respect and honor. I do not plan to challenge his position or authority. That would be foolish. Maliki is a pawn.
If through your words, if he makes to attack us, do we fight back?
Illigith looks, I mean, like it looks a little more pale with that question and that reality. Like he really, really, the core of his being does not know how to answer you because he's afraid. Even with all of that stalwart, stony composure, he knows Maliki's a pawn, but when it comes to the head of the Goliaths and this weird unification, he has no idea what might happen.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
There is that was me, not him. Sorry. There are many concerning things that we need to discuss before we move forward. One, are these people capable of being our allies? They are already at war with one of our newly gained allies. Do we really think that we can bring them to our side, for one? And then two, if we do we think they're just going to play nice with the dwarves? You know, like everything, water under the bridge, I think there's an expression, right? Or are we going to have to choose one? Because from what I've seen here, I just don't see a path forward without there being a coup. The Blood Wolf wants blood of the dwarves, and he has riled up a warband against them. The only thing I can see is removing him from power. And apparently there was one before him, I believe they called him the Owl. Right? And Molly, what intel? So I know a lot of intel about the Owl, but I don't know how much my character knows about the Owl.
Do I know anything about the
No. Right. Also, I'm just gonna ask this. I'm assuming that this conversation is happening like after like during the departure, like y'all are going, or unless this is like group huddle before they leave.
If you don't want us to have
or,
group roleplay, Multi, that's fine.
They're going. Oh, are you kidding me? No, I want you to. I just want to know. I just want to know if y'all are like on the way there, or if y'all are having the group huddle at Leakstone. I just want to know.
Whatever you want, Molly.
Whatever you want. Whatever y'all want.
I mean,
if they get in the conversation, if they start moving, we start moving with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say that this conversation's happening as the final things are being packed up and are about to start leaving. Okay. Yeah, so y'all are there, y'all are group huddle talking. Omen, you asked what intel y'all had on Raylock?
What do I know? So I know things that I have talked about with previous characters, but like with me, Omen, like I don't remember how much I know. Like, for example, do I know that the previous leader, tried to get like trade going between the two? Like, do I know that? Or do I not?
I believe when that was mentioned, it was a conversation between Bjorn and Illigith. And I think Omen at that moment was off with Klein and Anvar, helping out with like war planning and troop movements and
But we know that
refugee.
there was someone previously in power that got
Yes.
coup.
But yeah, like trade deals and whatnot, maybe not. Not that you would know. Illigus, would you have, for the sake of ease, would you have told them that information, or
About what?
Just-
Okay,
just-
here's the point I'm trying to make. There was a guy who came before us that seemed like he was going to be more of a team player, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. So putting all that other stuff aside, that's not really necessary. I'll just shelf that question. It's not super important. What I was trying to say is like this guy right now doesn't seem like he's going to be exactly a proponent of peace and an ally, whereas I know there was a previous person who seemed to be like that guy. So my question is, we're talking about going in and not challenging him, but I question what if not that, then what are we going to do when we get there? Like, what is our purpose? Are we trying to just you see what I'm saying? I'm kind of confused as to what our plan is.
And Illigith is like super looking around, making sure that nobody is within earshot at all, even though they're speaking a language that pretty much none of them speak. If there is no other way,
Would they follow someone like you if it came down to it? Or would we have to find somebody else? Someone like the owl.
I mean, I've known this guy for what, 3 days? I follow him.
I mean, I don't say they're Goliath, but I mean, if they won't accept his, authority because he's part of this tribe that is, for some reason, kind of been thrown aside, then we need to be willing to have a candidate that we can basically have us and join us, who would actually ally with us. Somebody like Havoc, who is loyal to you by your strength. Obviously, I would prefer someone who I know better, like you. But if we can't do that because they won't go for it, then we need to talk about it. It's over.
if please understand, this is the entirety of my people. It is not my will to rule them.
But for the safety of the world, would you if you had to?
Yes,
It may
of
come down
course
to
I would.
that. You can always abdicate your power to someone you trust after this war is over, but until then, we need someone who is strong, who is uncorruptible, and who we know we can trust. I don't see any other Goliaths but you in this. Now, being totally honest, I do not see this Blood Wolf going to be taking this lying down. Obviously, we will try the peaceful way. I'm expecting it to not go well. So, like Milo was saying, is there any sort of card that we have that we can play, or any things that the people would recognize, even if this non-traditionalist, as you have said, would not?
A special
Like-
weapon, a belt,
Or like
a
maybe
headpiece.
so hear me out. I have this ability to change people into horrible creatures. So if there is like some, like a dragon, you've seen a dragon, I can turn you kind of into it, something like that.
You have true polymorph?
Technically, it says you can turn them into anything that's their CR level
Beast.
or CR. So what?
It's a beast.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
What about
It
monster?
fit me.
What
T-Rex.
about a Raz?
Yeah, okay.
T-Rex is the most powerful thing that he could become.
Damn it.
Through
All right,
polymorph.
fine. Never mind. Forget that question.
Okay. Illigith, I hope your words will find a peaceful resolution. But we are ready if not.
Yes. Is there
I
any way
guess-
we can win the hearts of the people in this, or will they simply accept
No.
the blood? Okay, that's fair. We'll just kill him. What?
I mean, they accepted his rule after he exiled the previous guy. Which, by the way, was a really poor decision-making on his part. Just exiling him?
Well, technically, we don't know if he's dead or alive.
True. We could find out.
Yeah, I mean, what if we found this exiled king, and had the,
I mean, we'd have to have some knowledge, some extra knowledge about that.
Yeah, does someone have scrying?
Just need a yes or a no here.
I should have just been a wizard. Oh, no, Omen's a wizard.
I'm a wizard, so I can make scrying part of my next day.
I mean,
Oh my god.
What?
Oh man.
Molly hates his life right now.
No, it's fine. Roll with it. Let's go.
You'll find the former king.
yes.
Wait, so if I do sending, can that be to a creature I don't even? Oh, that'd be
Yes,
true.
because Illigith would describe him to you and give you his name.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
That's true. So I do have sending,
Bro,
Yes.
look at the owl right now.
and then I can do scrying tomorrow.
Hey,
I don't
Molly, you're
have
ready
any
to
more.
roleplay the owl, right?
Oh God. Yep. You ready, Molly?
Y'all have just been killing me tonight. Good god. Alright.
Okay, so
They've just been giving me haymaker after haymaker.
let me just
Only
bullet
needs
a
point this
break.
real quick. Okay, so Blood Wolf, have no idea how it's gonna go. Want to convert him, find peace, whatever. Probably won't happen. That's plan A, though. Plan B. Blood Wolf does totally not accept anything, is a complete idiot, and wants to fight us. So we will challenge him to a
4-on-4.
right. If he does not accept that,
Kill him.
kill him.
If he does not accept that, nuke.
Like, what do we? I mean,
What
there's
about
no other
But
option.
here's the thing. Here's what we do. We take the power, we slaughter the man, and then we find the owl so he can be the one in charge.
Yes.
I
That's
mean,
our
what if before we kill the leader of this very angry people, we first get the owl, see what happened there, bring him.
We're already on our way. What, are we
Fair
all
enough.
just going to disappear?
I mean,
I mean-
I wish that was a possibility.
It is,
I mean, we have a few days.
I say, looking at y'all.
Oh.
If y'all find, or if you are able to find him, Omen, I can go with a few of the rangers and find him, or send the rangers at least to scout out the land to
Yeah.
find where he is laying.
Again, I have sending, so I can send instructions to Dolgrim to find him and whatever. I don't think that would go very well, to be honest. I think it would. Well, why
It is
don't?
possible for us to go invisible and disappear, I say, looking at you all.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely
Not
also
for them
possible.
to make contact, but only to find him.
Papa is trying to get your attention. What, Papa?
Sorcerer,
Please.
thank you very much.
Please understand me. If Raylock is alive, he must be present. This changes everything.
Okay, well, describe him to Omen. Omen, do your little wand magic shit. And
So,
Before we get
alright.
ahead of ourselves, there was something I meant to say. Noki cuts everybody.
I'm gonna mute him soon.
Hey, could I cast the ring, the sending spell into Milo's ring, and then Milo gives the ring to Illigith, and then Illigith casts sending with his voice. Is that possible?
Yes.
We should totally do that.
Illigus
Because if he's alive, what?
Illigus just has to attune to the item.
Well, there we go.
What? Wait.
But my special spell in my ring.
All right, so I'll say this, okay? So I remember this exact situation happening in a Critical Role game, where Jester attempted to cast Sending on someone she didn't know, but one of the party members knew. Essentially, what they did is they described the party member to the best of their ability, or they described the person that they wanted to send to the best of their ability, and Matt had them roll for it. Because Jester did not actually know and was not familiar with the person. So y'all can
Matt had them roll for the verbal description as to how good it is.
That's what it was?
Yeah. So he has the person who's describing him roll for how well they can describe this person to where Omen can understand.
But with the ring, spell storing, you just negate all that because Illigith would be sending a message.
That is correct, yes. If Illigith was the one casting the spell, then yeah, any of that junk with rolling and whatnot wouldn't matter.
It sounds like the safest option, so it doesn't go to a random Goliath.
Yeah, so I have a 5th level spell, but it can contain 7 levels. So sending is what level?
I think it's a 3rd level spell, unfortunately.
3rd level?
Yeah, it's 3rd level.
Oh, the pain! But all right, we should try. We should try with Illigith describing him first.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
Yes, really. Even if
because
I can recover the spell anyway, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we should try it.
Let me say this: 2 things. One of them is meta. One, Raylock is Illigith's brother, and as far as anyone is concerned, he knows him like the back of his hand, even if it's been 10 years. And 2, it kind of takes me a little bit out of it, not having the wizard cast the spell. Just being honest. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
Yeah.
So on the sending spell, it's going to be a 25-word message, or 25 or less, with which you are familiar. The creature hears its message in its mind, recognizes you as a sender. If it knows you, it can answer the spell immediately, any distance, even on other planes of existence. But if it's a different plane, it's 5%, whatever. So, yeah, we can do it. So if you want to roll how you. What was the thing that you had to do to describe it, Molly?
Molly, I know you're on some uncharted territory here, so
yeah. So essentially, you're gonna describe it. Illigith, if you want to describe Raylock in roleplay, then go for it. Omen, I'm gonna have you roll an Arcana check, and based on if Illigith, if you want to give a description in roleplay, I guess based on the information you give, it will be a DC that you will have to beat to see if the spell will go through or not. Again, yeah, I feel like I'm giving an ultimatum for you to describe him in roleplay. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm all up for something like that, but I also want to emphasize just the fact that Illigith would be able to describe him to a T, how he was 10 years ago.
For sure, yes.
So, while I'm not casting the spell, yeah. So, because it's not just some stranger, it's not like another mercenary leader or something.
Yep. All right, so.
Omen, Arcana check. You can do it. Guidance. I'm not a cleric.
Are you?
Am I?
Natural 20.
Holy crap.
Booyah.
fuck are these natural 20s?
I don't know what to tell you, Molly.
Like really?
This
I
is a
don't-
legendary campaign, so
Like, I
Wesley,
can't-
you
I
tried
can't
so hard, Wesley.
But look.
Actually, I'll look at
Damn
roll.
it. No, it was a 20. I swear to you. I actually rolled twice because I was like, you know what? I'm already just going to roll with initiative. And I rolled 2 20s. That's not a joke.
What?
So, yeah.
wow.
I
I
know.
don't know, Wesley. You sounded kind of sus.
Whatever, man. Mr. Logan over here throwing like a bajillion 20s in one day.
All right.
The freezer, not Logan.
Why am I? Does anyone else hear me echoing?
Only for a second. I think it's gone.
It's gone now.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's gone now.
All right, good. Okay, so yeah, Illigith gives his. Oh, sorry. Yep.
Okay, I see this as Omen. Like, do we kind of need to like pull aside, sit down? I mean, is this like a seance? What's going on here? Like,
No, you can just say it. And then I'm gonna write a letter. And then I'm gonna do some hibbity jibbity. And then we'll go from there.
love me some hibbity jibbity.
Owl.
What did he ask?
Omen.
What did
Right.
Raylock.
Illigith.
Raylock the owl.
All right.
My own flesh and blood. My brother. Oldest.
How many words do you have?
Huh?
Milo asks as you're speaking.
25.
Oh, 25 words.
Oh.
Wait, are you saying the words right now, or are you describing him?
He
Oh
was.
no, I was gonna describe him.
My friend,
Oh,
this is
oh,
the
okay.
description.
I was
Sorry.
gonna describe
I
him.
was confused. Milo steps back.
Okay, yeah, there you go, Molly. Good point. Yeah, so the Raylock, the owl, my own flesh and blood, my brother, the oldest, not quite an inch taller, but yes, he is taller than me. He was fond of the color green and often would use green war paint as a child. I have so many memories. His tribal markings, not so different from mine. As you can see, the stripes that adorn my head and body. He was partial to being different, countercultural, if you will. Led to our falling out eventually, but he chose, when it came time to get his markings, the design of the waves. I remember he let me journey with him when we were young, of course, to the coast, far to the northwest of Mount Morcall. The first time I had descended the mountain, actually, and we visited the waves. He liked them, and so that's what he chose. The council, of course, did not approve. Green. Green was the color he always wore. Did not matter the pelt, wolf, pig, ox. Always something green. The shoulder, made up of his socks. He had an eye for things of the spear. His favorite weapon. Just like our father. But he never wanted to use a shield. Thought it a sign of weakness. As Illigith glances to his own. Second to my father, Raylock was the closest person I've ever known. I respected him greatly. But when it came time to decide tradition, even when survival was tough, Raylock, he chose to take some of the clan with him and leave the Tunukaban at the top of Mount Morkel. I was very angry with him. We did not have the guidance of our father then. And ultimately, our decision to stay led to our own demise. He was wise. That is why they call him the Owl, you know. You know how he got that name? He was fond of trap making, engineering, smarter than any Goliath I've ever known. Woodwork, string. His goal that the council gave him, it was to captivate the attention of the birds of the air. Captivate. Of course, all of us attempted to help him, you know, jealous of his trial to manhood. He did not listen to a single one of us brutes. Of course, we said chop the tree down, throw the rocks. When he returned to claim his manhood, he had in tow over a dozen owls caught in traps that he made.
I think you for like 5 minutes.
2 seconds. Everyone laughed when he returned. Of course, the council accepted this, and they knew that this would mark the rise to a new chieftain, and so did our father. We honored his wisdom, Raylock the Owl. And if he really is still out there, and you really can communicate with him, tell him that his brother loves him very much, and he is sorry.
Now I'm going to need that in 25 words.
Okay.
Take a point of inspiration for the team.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta go real quick. Bethany needs something. I'll be back in just a minute.
Gotcha. While you're doing that, Omen can craft the message.
All right.
Fun.
With party input, if you know. This is D&D. This is a party game. You're muted, Julian.
Okay. So important stuff we should figure out then. Is he alive? Where is he? And does he even want to come back?
Yeah, this is going to be hard to write without Logan here. Because, I mean...
And also that his brother loves him.
Yeah, that's all we got, right? So, I mean, but yeah, so sending will tell us whether or not he's alive, right, Ryan? Like, if the person doesn't exist...
Yeah, if he's dead, the message won't send, and you should know that it doesn't send.
Yeah, so that's...
The spell will fail, I believe is what it says.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Unless he's on a different plane, which I would very highly doubt, but you never know. The plane of the underworld. So yeah, I think that question is good with just us sending it. Honestly, it would probably be something like, or Delta Hill. Oh, God. Where life is a nightmare. Oh, John Mulaney. Yeah. Yeah, we would need to know where he is. If he'd be willing to come back. If he could meet us there would be great. But honestly, it's going to be kind of tough. So Ryan, is it it's a correspondence one way and he can answer immediately? And that's
Immediately
it,
with
right?
25 words.
Yeah, he has to answer with 25 words.
And then we keep going back and forth. That's only a one-time
You
thing,
can
right?
pass sending again to send another 25 words and get it back.
Yeah. So you have to cast another spell. Got it.
And you always have to be the original sender.
Red. Okay. Yeah. Well,
Now that Illigus is not here, I
We
don't
kill
think we
him,
have a
take the
choice of
gold.
bringing the owl back. I think this whole thing fails without him.
I like this. I love this so much.
They will never realign with the dwarfs without the proper leadership.
yep.
And you
Agreed.
don't gain the name the Blood Wolf by making peace.
Yeah, I will say for Raylock, what y'all have, so just like general information that y'all could glean from like, what Havoc has said, what Stormbreaker has said, Raylock was known for breaking tradition. He didn't hold to it. And they saw this as a sign of, weakness. They didn't like what he was doing. Illigus would know, some more of the stuff he was doing, trying to make peace, trying to like make trade routes, set up infrastructure. But peace talks obviously fell through because the dwarves didn't respond, and just other things like that. Of course, you've only met with the Goliaths under the Stormbreaker, so you don't know if that's true for all the Goliath tribes that have apparently been united. But that's just what y'all know up to this point for Raylock. Is that good? Or any questions? Or
I mean, I think we'll find out more as time goes on as well.
Yeah, you will.
That's
That's just what y'all know up to this point.
I'm glad we actually talked this through because the last time we like last session we just kind of had no like concrete plan. So when we got there, we're like, what do we do, guys? And Logan's like, well, what do we do, guys?
And it
we're
worked
like,
out perfectly.
Technically it did, but also look at the aftermath. It's been a super tense this entire time.
That's Logan's fault for not telling them we had
So-
friends in a bush.
Fair enough. But if we have such a great plan that it can't fail, we'll prevent all of this awkwardness, right?
No.
Right? No.
You are 100% correct.
We are too awkward as
If
individuals.
the DM says it, it must be true. Wink, wink.
Oh.
Also, I think the hardest laugh I've had this session is when Yoki said I vote for Dolgrim. Who, by the way, Julian, you weren't there, but when they were fighting the Dwarven King, Yoki just said, "I'm gonna put Dolgrim on the throne. I don't care. We're gonna kill this king. We'll put him on the throne." It's so.
He tried to kill the entire king's lineage till it got to Dolgrim.
Yep.
To be fair, that was actually Soren, but same thing. Noki would have done it too.
Soren, the diplomatic type.
He did have the courtier background.
Yeah. Diplomatic, but also very pragmatic.
As you must be if you were to survive in politics. Especially as a Celestial.
Mm. Right. Anything else that we can talk about while we wait?
So is this what
Vikings
your
right
group
now.
does? Do we just kill kings and replace them?
No, this is the first time. Well, I'm not part of this group. I just joined this group after the same time
I
you
look
did.
at Noki and ask him this question.
Fair enough.
To be fair, when it was my turn for a story arc, the Sky Gods killed my dad.
So your
And,
father died. Was your father a king?
He was
Pretty
king of
much.
our people.
Wait,
Oh,
Nyoki, aren't you now the king of the guild? Or leader of the guild now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
that's just when I
technically,
took
yes,
out
they
the
do.
story.
We
Wait,
do.
if you have your own guild, why are you here? Milo looks very confused.
Because Malvadrian was destroyed.
My young child, we must save the world. And that is above being king, or war chieftain, or dwarvish king.
Also, he hated
Wait.
my previous character, and once he was finally out of the way, he's like, "Oh yeah, GG, I'm coming back." For sure.
Wait.
Correct.
We're actually saving the world? I just pulled that out of my butt.
We're saving the world.
Milo's eyes go wide. He's like, "Oh, this
We
is
can
way
discuss
more
something
important than I
further.
thought it was."
There was a great war between Maribor, right? Malvadrian's people,
Correct.
we'll call them. I forget their names sometimes.
Mariborian.
Empire. That one. Thank you, Omen.
Who's Malvadrian?
Badass dude.
He was the old Omen.
Yes. Who was this Malvadrian?
All right, so let me get this straight.
Malvadrian's people went to war with the
This
Celestials.
guy-
The Celestials slaughtered them and are now trying to conquer the world.
So this guy, who was the last of his kind, continued war and got killed. Now y'all are going to continue that same war?
He was not the last of his kind. He was just one of many.
All right. Let me tell you a tale that I technically don't have knowledge of, but I have knowledge of.
Omen has knowledge of this?
Indeed, he's been
We're
watching
in the game.
this entire time. Permission to metagame, DM.
Well, these are all in-character questions for my character, so...
The country of Maribor and the Celestial Empire went to war. Maribor was betrayed by a man named Dalton, also Malvadrian's best friend. About a week ago, right before Omen and I arrived.
1 second. Okay, continue.
Malvadrian and Illigith and Soren, while fighting the dwarves, came across Dalton. Dalton and Malvadrian ended up fighting, and Malvadrian was mortally wounded. I believe you. So that's who Malvadrian is. Dalton, I believe you've maybe haven't met. He's not fun. He's an asshole.
All right. So
Noki's very off track at this moment.
Malvadrian and Dalton fucked with each other. Then
No,
Dalton
friends.
fucked Malvadrian.
no.
At the end of the day,
Sorry, y'all.
that's basically correct.
We were just doing crappy banter while we waited for you.
This was
I'm so
crap.
sorry.
The history of this land.
This is applicable to everybody but Ryan. So we had all that dog food in the garage.
Oh no.
It's okay, but we do. So Molly, remember when I saw the mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just made a tiny little hole in one of the bags, and it's been numbing. So there's just a bunch of poop in the corner in the garage. We've already set the trap. Thank you, Julian.
That's why you're involved in this.
Yeah. So we've already set the trap. Just make sure you close the door behind you every time. Don't be leaving the garage open and stuff for the dogs because they will be in a world of hurt. It's got peanut butter on it.
Gotcha.
Ouch.
Yeah, it broke the pin. Bethany tested the trap on a pin. It broke it.
Oh boy.
One more question. Who declared war on Malvadrian's people?
Can I please tell the whole story?
Tell it
Only
as if you
Illios
were
knows the whole
Noki.
story at this point.
Tell it as if you were Noki.
I mean,
Base everything around food and guns, and you'll be okay.
there was this jackass named Mal.
And
He was a douche.
Yeah, there.
Yikes.
Am I going so far so good?
Oh,
100%.
man.
Spot on.
Haven't been
Anyway.
wrong yet.
He had like trust issues because he was betrayed by his best friend and got stabbed in the back, because he couldn't see things coming because he was an idiot.
Okay, so Malvadrian, big baby. Got it.
Yep,
Yikes.
he's the biggest baby. And he got betrayed, couldn't let it go. His entire people. What happened to my people? Actually, I forgot. Did they get enslaved or something, or did they just run away and get exiled? Like ran for their lives, pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
As far as you know, people ran for their lives, and anyone that stayed there, you have no information on what's going on in Maribor.
Yeah, so pretty much,
You assume the worst.
if Molly could put up that map, then it would make more sense. But basically, they started from like the southeast, southwest, made their way east, up, yeah, right there. So you see Celestia right there on
Yes.
the southwest part of the map.
Can you make yourself
We
big?
went through Ghent first, and Ghent is basically where Klein was from, who's like the general guy that we kind of like are buddies with. After Ghent fell, Melangar and Maribor were like, hey, these guys are going to F us up if we don't work together, so let's work together. Well, they worked together, and, basically they lost everything at the Battle of Serenity Valley, where they were betrayed, and basically their entire fighting force was effectively just put to zero and died because they were a bunch of wusses. But the weird thing was about that battle, I think, was that they somehow got access to Gnocchi's guns in some way. Is that right, Molly? Yeah.
Yep.
The
Also
bad
Dalton's
guys
fault.
got access to Noki's guns.
Yeah.
So also Dalton's fault, by the way.
Yeah.
Which, wait a second. If the bad guys got a hold of Noki's guns, and the Goliaths now have the guns,
Yes.
and the Goliaths are led by
Yes.
this guy, then why are we even... wait.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
Gnomish
Where
guns
you
and
got
these
this
Goliath
second part?
guns are
Wait.
very different.
What, have we asked her where she got the guns?
No, we never asked that question.
Shouldn't
Not
we
even
ask
one.
her where she got the guns?
The Gnomish guns and the
Milo's just looking
Goliath
at everyone
guns
very bewildered.
are
The
very
Goliath
different
guns,
guns.
because aren't they kind of based off of the design of your gun?
They are, but they're like dwarvish in design, is what when Molly talked about it one session ago, he said they were some weird metal that we'd never seen before. they were strangely dwarvish in design, so they weren't exactly like the. It was obvious that they had similarities to Gnocchi's design, but they looked like dwarvish in like craftsman style. And so that was the only two clues that I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah,
It's probably the Celestials, but at this point it could be
And wait,
anybody.
so the Celestials are gods.
Not really. They're
So what are the Celestials?
They're the Celestial Imperium.
It's more like
So that's it's like the Romans.
Yeah. So okay, if you let me get to the story, it'll make a little bit more sense. Yeah, my child. So the Celestials have these groups of like elite fighting forces that are called Halcyons. So magic is very rare in this world. So you and me are very unique. So these guys are like walking artillery, where they basically just fire blast the crap out of everything, right? So that's one example of there's something weird. They have like some sort of divine magic, and you remember why you and me had beef at the beginning was because your magic was like almost the exact same as the Halcyons, and like they're pretty much like soulless dementors who like just destroy everything. You know, you remember that whole tiff? That's why it was a thing. So they have divine magic, but so Soren was a celestial, but he wasn't like, I don't know. They're not divine. They have divine magic.
If their magic is like mine, is it still divine? No rhyme intended.
That's a Molly question. I can't answer that.
That's actually an Omen question for him to try his best.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
I hate you so much. Oh!
I mean, I'm trying to think, and this is just from Illigus' perspective. Illigus' magic is 100% divine, right? And so it's kind of, but also like the celestial magic is divine. So it seems to me the only magic in this realm is divine.
All right, I have a story time, children, about the Halcyons. So buckle up for the exposition bomb. All right.
Oh boy.
So, do you remember how I was the first white lighter?
I do recall this.
I was the first.
And what is a white lighter?
Okay, back to basics. All right, so
it's off his notebook because he doesn't know either.
All right, so to kind of contextualize this, now Vadrian, when he, I don't even know if I should go into this or not because I don't know how to explain this.
You're in too deep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna explain how my character understands it as opposed to the entire story, and then if Gnocchi wants to pop in, he can explain the rest. Okay, white lighters are essentially these created divine beings who are basically like instruments to the gods, right? So you could almost imagine them as like angels in like our like mythology, but basically they're created beings that are imperfectly divine, that are basically just instruments for the gods to do whatever they need to do.
Question.
If I get anything wrong, just let me know. It's been a while.
Omen, were you someone before you were a white lighter?
I was created by a god called Externus. So I had no mother, I had no father except for my creator.
Illigus' eyes are like,
Milo is just like trying to he's legitimately, this notebook is real. He is just like, all right.
I thought I explained this to you guys like my first session here. I'm an imperfectly divine being. Created.
Okay, white lighters are created divine beings made to be instruments of the gods. The god who made imperfect divine beings.
Yeah.
Why would they make something imperfect?
Because only the gods are perfect. They can't make other gods.
Okay. Are angels perfect divine beings or imperfect divine beings?
In this context, the White Lighters are imperfectly divine beings.
Well, Omen is so-called angel.
Wait, Omen, you're an angel.
I am an imperfectly divine being.
Okay. And you were created by one of the gods. His name is
Yep.
Externus.
Yep.
What is he the god of?
He is the god of the outsider. I was basically a spy.
God of the outsider. Who is the outsider? What is the outsider?
Okay, so imagine this is going to take a while. Let's all sit down. Oh man, we have to go into everything here. So, all right. Basically, when mortals were created, there became a contention between the deities. And this distrust began to boil over. And so in the midst of this rising tension, Molly, I forgot the guy who's like the top dog that it's Minty and Malice's dad. I don't remember his name or what his title is.
I think you're referring to the Archon.
Yeah. So in this, so this is kind of where our relationships kind of start to make sense. So the god that you call Ilmater, I knew as Kel. He was
Kel.
kind of, yeah, his name was Kel. I
Equal
don't know
guilt.
why names are different, but it is what it is. Essentially, he was you could say, general of the gods who wanted to fight for the free will of humanity. Like when I say humanity, I mean all created mortals.
Gods
So-
who fought for mortals. Got it.
Yep. And then there were the other side who thought that this creation was evil and needed to be controlled like cattle, and that free will essentially, be taken away because they didn't deserve it, right? Because of all of the evil that they've inflicted upon each other, the world that we created for them, and so on and so forth, and all that stuff. And I forgot the guy who led that side. But essentially, before I get too far into it, the Archon is like the king of all of the gods, and Kel was his general, right? He was his general, and underneath the Archon, he had two children. One of them, her name was Minty. The other one, I do not think you know. His name was Malice. And essentially, when heaven got divided between these two factions, Malice
led one and Minty led the other.
Well, not led is a strong term. They joined the other side. Kel
is Archon
was
the most powerful god?
Essentially, he is like the king over all of them.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. To be honest,
is he still alive?
I don't know.
Did you know him?
Only by name. I never actually met him or saw him. I did know both Minty and Malice. They were the closest thing that I could call friends.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kel led one side, and a man named Azrihel led the other. They were basically like warring generals. And the White Lighters were these essentially, like, you could think of them as like lieutenants. They were
lieutenants on both sides.
Yeah, so before the split happened, they were these imperfectly divine beings, but when the side led by Azrihel left and took their white lighters with them, they became what you now know as halcyons. They were twisted by really dark magics and rituals, and they essentially lost most of their free will, but gained incomprehensible power.
And became halcyons.
Yes. But they were white lighters, which was like an order that was supposed to serve the gods as their like lieutenants, essentially. You could think of it like that. So yeah, that's the halcyons, and this is where I don't know how the war concluded. I was essentially locked away I assume near the end of the war. And
but now you're back, and you see that the halcyons are in the Celestial Imperium.
Correct. Yeah. The halcyons is, from what I've heard from your people, these two actually fought one and lived, which is very rare. So the Celestials have some kind of connection to Azrael and his side, which essentially do not believe in the good of non-created beings, right? People who are born from mothers and fathers.
And as far as you know, there are no other white lighters left.
No. I believe Minty had some sort of idea of trying to find other white lighters. If I remember the conversations that I had with you two beforehand, but I do not believe that there are any other white lighters still alive. But apparently, Malvadrian held the mark of a white lighter on the back of his hand, and that was his connection with Minty was through that mark.
And Minty is daughter of Archon.
She's basically the princess of the gods, yes. And she has a brother named Malice, who is essentially prince of the gods.
And we spoke with her and fought with her.
And from what I understand, Kel also talked with you. And so, yeah, it's most of the time, it's very indirect, but it seems that you are all very special.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't find this amulet. It was given to me.
Yeah, you actually, that symbol right there is the symbol of the white lighters. Yes.
And I pull out the amulet and I say, this was given to me by a man with glowing white clothing who seemed very kind.
You remember his name?
No.
Did he tell you his name? No? Can you describe him? Besides his hair, I don't know.
All I remember is that his clothing glowed, and it was so bright that I couldn't distinguish other features.
Fair enough. Well, I don't know what happened to the side that was led by Kel and the rest of the white lighters, but it appears that they did not exactly win. Right? I don't see any. I see a lot more of Azrael's side than I do of Kel's side. I think you, Point and Delegate, are the only exception of his divine influence.
And you have no idea what I am?
No, I do not. All I know is that your power, I have seen what Halcyons can do up close. I've felt their power. I've seen them in action. And that, you know how you can sense the type of magic, right? It has a feel to it, right? It has almost like its own emotion, like it's like a fingerprint of you have the same craftsmanship style. You know what I'm saying, that feel. And after seeing you in action, your ability to harness the elements to do simply miraculous things, like what you did with the freezing of those men, you have unparalleled destructive abilities just like they do. Much, much power.
If the White Lighters could have been corrupted to become Halcyons, can Halcyons be purified to become White Lighters?
It has never been done to my knowledge, but I would not rule it out as impossible. I did not think half of the things that I've seen up until this point were possible, but everything is permitted in this world, it seems.
Is that something that we could possibly ask Soren and Severus, his father?
It's possible.
Severus was council member, I believe.
Yes, I'm to be honest, I don't know of the relationship that this empire, when I was speaking to the people in that war council, Klein and King Onvar, they told me a little bit about this war of expansion and conquest. It appears, from what I can tell, that war in heaven was probably won by Azrael, and they're beginning their conquest of people, stripping them of their will so that they can be ruled and put into order. Now, it's kind of unclear because we see Soren, who was supposedly born into this empire, right? And he seemed to have free will. So I don't know exactly what the relationship is between these halcyons, these seekers, these Azrael, Malice. I'm desperately trying to find answers because I fought in that war, and I kind of goes quiet. I need to find answers to the questions.
Could you cast that sending spell to reach Minty?
Now, yes, I could, but Minty was the force that awoke me from whatever slumber I was put into. And so I would suspect that when Malvadrian, her vessel, perished, I would assume that she may not be on this, what do you call it, plane, but we could try it, but I do not think that it would be very successful. But we could give it a shot.
What if I possess an item that contains her magic?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, returning to these dark creatures, Halcyon, White Lighters, they sound polluted. Assuming someone such as Soren could choose for himself, perhaps it is not beneath so-called Azrael to pollute the minds of those beneath them.
I don't know. All I know is that the Halcyons typically do not leave many survivors when they were called into whatever situation. And from my talks with Klein and Onvar, it appears that that is still the case. So the fact that they are somehow related to the Celestials is troubling. But the fact that Soren has his own free will is, it gives hope, like you said. But given the fact that they have, I don't know, basically, what?
There are
I don't know.
Okay. So right now, what we are trying to do is get the rest of the free world to unite in this war against the Celestial Imperium. And then, once we do that, what is our next step?
I cannot speak for the rest of you, but my intention is to find Malice and to find out what happened at the end of that war. That is one of my top priorities. I don't want to get into it here, but essentially, Malice is somebody who was he was a friend. And so we fought side by side. You can see he's getting very uncomfortable talking about all of this and kind of. I need to find answers as to what happened to the war, what happened to everything.
So we need to find a Halcyon and interrogate them.
They may not. Halcyons are intelligent, yes, but they're more like a war dog that you send to sick on a target or something. I don't know if they would definitely have much information, but I don't know if it would be everything that we would need. But it
So
certainly would hurt.
We found the person who killed. Looks through his notes. Malvadrian. What if we found Dalton?
Dalton.
Would he perhaps have some of these answers?
That bastard.
I've never really had I don't really know who Dalton is, do I, Molly?
Nope.
Do I kind of know?
Noki,
I know of him, but I don't think I really do I had.
You know of him from.
Yeah.
Go for it, Noki.
Soren was on the path of becoming a seeker, an elite warrior or spy or whatever you want to call them for the Celestial Empire before he made his escape. Dalton, after joining their ranks, has been promoted or came in as whatever, as High Seeker, where that essentially lines up in their hierarchy. I do not know completely, but he's very high ranking with them.
And his power was akin to our own, if not greater.
Yeah, he fought an entire throne room with y'all and dwarven warriors alone.
Well, to be fair, we were attacked on both sides.
And from what Soren told me,
Wait a second.
Malvadrian's blade did not have blood on it when he returned.
He was able to kill Malvadrian who had bonded with Minty?
It was all a blur. During the fighting, it would appear that so-called Dalton nearly lost. And as he sought to retreat through means of foreign magic, Malvadrian lunged for him, disappearing entirely. And in a blink of an eye, he had returned, lifeless.
So yes, this Dalton was able to kill someone who bonded with Minty.
I spoke incorrectly earlier when I said I had an item from Minty. I believe Illios has Malvadrian's saber. But Soren gave to me Dalton's weapon.
Tell me, how did he fight? This Dalton, how did he fight?
He was very, very quick. I've seen a Seeker fight before, haven't I?
Yeah, you've seen a Seeker fight you haven't seen any Seeker do what Dalton did.
But they were all like super fast, right?
Yes.
He's very fast. He jumps from place to place. 1 second he's there, the next second he's behind you, his blade in your back. And before you can turn around, he's back in front of you.
And Wally, you should check your phone.
I am. I'm reading it right now.
All because Milo wanted to know what the fuck was going on.
Yep. No, this is not what I expected of tonight. Oh man, this is great.
If you have any of your magic, Omen, I can lend you.
So to catch you up for what Illigith wasn't here for, Milo basically was like, wait, because someone said something, he was like, wait, so we actually are saving the world? And then that went into a whole explanation. He pulled out his notebook and began taking notes. Because it's a lot. I have 3 pages of notes.
Well, I mean, we had 23 sessions to explain or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't even explain the middle part. So we went to the beginning, to the end, and then back to the beginning. So
What was the last thing that was said in the last 10 seconds?
They described how Dalton fought, and Omen was like, wait, how did he fight? And they described how Dalton fought. And Omen was about to say something with corroboration from Molly before he said it.
Yeah. Omen just kind of is like, is very much like perplexed and like deep in thought after hearing this. But he doesn't have anything to follow it up with.
Yeah, so
he just seems to be surprised that, or I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so we get stronger. We gain a few levels. Kidding. So we should. It seems that this Dalton might be the only one who we know of that might have this information. So we should probably, once we unite the people, seek him out. After we
seek out the Seeker.
Let's send Dalton a message.
Oh boy.
I mean,
well.
Sending. Why do you exist? All right.
And then he would just immediately teleport here and murder us all with like a bajillion Seekers.
He can try.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Julian, I forgot to tell you, they can teleport basically on will anywhere, and teleportation for us doesn't work.
The fuck is that, Molly?
I know, right?
Okay, we don't know that they can teleport anywhere at will.
Don't know that.
Anywhere.
So what Molly did...
Soren has said that there is a process to it, and that it is very costly.
So what Molly did was he built an unwinnable campaign for us all to die in.
Not true. Not with the power of Ilmater. Mater.
Yeah.
Who's Mater?
Your Mater.
My mother is ill.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So after all this, Milo kind of goes quiet, and he's just in thought. As Omen is now quiet and in thought, and Illigan is now quiet.
Yes, my boy. Yes. Join me in brooding.
Omen.
Yes.
I do not know what magic you possess, but perhaps you could tell me more about this saber. The one that Dalton wielded. Or used to wield.
Yeah, it's like a plus 12.
The one he killed Malvadrian with.
+3.
Let me look at my spells.
Times 4.
Yeah, Logan, how you doing?
In regards to what?
Yeah, so I love this conversation, and I want to see it through to its fruition. I also want to have the sending happen before the end.
I got till 12:30.
Okay, how are you doing, Julian?
I already sent you a message. My time frame is similar to Logan's.
Okay.
So I think we have enough time for that message to be sent.
Yeah.
And then we'll start next session with whatever Omen does with the saber.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Keep that in your back pocket there. But, yeah. It's a fantastic conversation, and everyone gets a
Absolutely.
point of inspiration for all that.
Freaking booyah.
So what you're saying is,
Molly, I'm not gonna take 2, Molly. I'm just gonna take the 1 that you gave me earlier.
I'm gonna take all 3 that you gave me today, Molly. I'm not that selfless.
Unless you want me to get taken over. I only took the 1 from
Does
Rob.
anyone want to donate 1 to me? I only had 1.
I'll donate another 1 to you, Omen.
Aw.
Or I have infinite supply.
That doesn't feel as nice.
All right.
No kisses.
So again, I love that conversation. The sending. What I know you wanted to talk with Illios before you sent the message.
Yeah, we need a 25 terse to the point, and we have to figure out what we want to say to him, essentially, right? Because we don't really know him like you do. We don't really know.
Okay, we don't even know if he's alive.
So sending will tell us if he's alive. I talked to Ryan, and Ryan said if he's not alive, the spell will just fail,
And we'll know it failed.
and we'll know immediately that he's not alive.
I believe
We're
that's
sorry.
correct.
The number you've attempted to dial is no longer in service.
He did. That's pretty brutal.
Goodbye.
Please try resurrection.
Yeah, true resurrection.
Also, metagaming. He doesn't know who you are, so he doesn't know who's sending the message.
Yeah, so this is Omen, friend of Illigith. Where are you?
I mean,
Will you come back to lead your people?
all right.
I mean, I don't know how can you have a message like you send the message and then what? You're not allowed to ever reply,
You can reply to this message in 25 words.
Yeah, so we get 25 words, and then he gets 25 words.
So that's what it does. But we say that this is Omen, friend of Illigith. Where are you? Will you come back to lead your people?
How about return instead of come back?
Will you return? Will you? Shit. 1 second. I can count this out.
So you also have to include. You got to include the lion heart. I'm sorry. You gotta.
The lion heart. 7, 8. Milo's just like in his notebook. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Will you return
to lead your people?
To lead your people. And that is 15, 16, 17, 18. You can reply. You can reply with 25 words. And that is it. We can fit everything with that.
How many words do you have left?
Like 1.
25 is 2 words.
Okay, then you have no words left.
So why don't we abbreviate that? Like take out lots of those little words.
Well, what else do we need to say?
We must include that the Lionheart loves his brother. It's top priority.
Is that
It is a top priority,
So you want to make the message less clear so that he can tell him he loves him.
So we didn't leave on good terms.
Yes. This is family, Milo.
Okay.
How important is it that we say you can only reply in 25 words?
He's not going to know.
Like, could you not say reply briefly? And that's 2 words?
You could just say reply 25 words.
Yeah.
That's 4 instead of like 6.
So, do I even need to introduce myself though? Because it's not like is he hearing like my voice?
Because you could say this is right.
He is hearing your voice, Omen.
Oh.
So the spell says it recognizes Omen as the sender, but he has no idea who Omen is.
Oh, so technically, yes.
What
So
if I
you could
just
say
I
friend.
am friend of Illigith instead of this
You
is
could-
Omen, who he doesn't even know who that is.
You could just say friend of Illigith the Lionheart.
Could you not just say the Lionheart and he'd know who you are?
Yes.
Friend of the Lionheart.
Did you have
Yes.
the Lionheart?
Yes, that works. I did. Yes.
Then he should recognize it.
Well, wouldn't that mean that you're calling him a friend of the Lionheart?
Yeah, I feel like I am friend of the Lionheart
Yes.
would be a little bit more clear.
I am friend
Why not
of
do Lion friend?
Lionheart.
Why not? Why not caveman? Me, friend of Lionheart.
True.
Me.
Or
You
just
could just say
Lionheart.
you could just say am friend of Lionheart.
Am friend of Lionheart.
You could just say
Hey.
I'm friend of Lionheart.
I'm
Oh,
No
friend.
abbreviations.
I'm.
Yep.
No conjunctions or whatever that's called.
Shut
Those
the fuck
aren't
up,
allowed.
Molly. Name.
I'm friend of Lionheart.
Friend of Lionheart.
It's the Lionheart.
He is on his deathbed. Come quick.
We should just write this in German. Put all of our words together.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
you're
friend of Lionheart.
Von Lionheart.
One word.
It should be
He
syllables or something.
loves you. He. What do you want to say?
I mean, you could say he loves you and is sorry. I mean, that's like the sentence that he needs, or something really close.
He
to
wishes to make amends. Is the throne enough?
that.
Where are you?
He loves
Where YWA question mark. Where are you at?
Where are you at?
Acronyms
Alright.
are not one word.
I'm friend of Lionheart. He loves and misses you.
No. Fuck the and misses you.
And repents or is sorry.
Oh, okay.
He loves you and is sorry.
And repents.
And I like repents. It sounds.
Yeah. Can y'all
cooler.
when y'all are done with this, can y'all type this out and put it in the chat?
I'm writing it. I'll take a picture and send
No,
it.
they're both writing it.
Sure, that's fine.
I'm friend of Lionheart. He loves you and repents. Where are you? Will you return to lead your people?
Yes. Beautiful.
So, I mean, so like you could include something that says like in dire need or must unite. I'm trying to just throw out words.
Great threat. You must lead your people again.
Something like that.
Yeah. Great. Okay. He loves you and repents. Where are you? That is
dire
1, 2,
what?
3.
Great danger? Great need? What was it?
Great danger. You are needed to lead your people.
Or rather, please lead your people. Can we also include a section
Please.
about where we are? Just like one or two words of location?
Okay, so I can send another message. So I have a bunch of spell
Damn
slots.
it! That took away so much.
Yeah,
of
the
I
need
wanted to
for
do that,
urgency.
honestly. So we'll let him reply, and then we'll say something back.
All right, I'm friend of Lionheart. He loves you and repents. Where are you? Great danger. Will you return to lead your people? Something like that. What was it?
So I guess to give context, great danger far south.
We go to what is the guy's name?
Blood Wolf.
Blood Wolf.
We go
and
to
I
the
don't know
Blood-
where. Molly, do I have any idea where we might be going?
And Molly is Blood Wolf one word. If you say no, so help me God.
That's one
Here,
word. I don't care what he says.
You're going into Dungaren.
Okay, there you go. Unfortunately, Dungaren is 2 words.
Yeah, so you're going into Dungaren. Logan, Mount Morgul, geographically, is not an eternity away from the place.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like Mount Morgul is like, where you were. It's like you're in the mountain range.
That mountain range.
Like
Yeah, I got you.
You're climbing the mountain,
So
and
you
Dungarn is in the like foothills.
right. So if you wanted to tell him where we're going, you would say entering Dungarn.
Okay,
That's
so
3
I have
words.
24 words. I'm friends of Lionheart. He loves you and repents. Where are you? Great danger. We go to Dungarn. Will you return to lead?
It's pretty close.
That's 24 words.
Can
Yeah,
you put
but-
entering in front of Dungarn?
Yeah, go to entering. We are entering. Yeah.
Oh, and then we can
Oh.
have the last word be reply.
Well,
We
did
could
you?
just, instead of saying we go to, we could just say entering Dungeon, just like
Yeah.
go ahead and say it. That'll give us 3 words back. Need you. So all right. So where
2
are
words.
you?
We have 3 more words.
Two
Entering
more words.
Dungeon, where
3
you
more
return
words.
to lead your people. So
Do we
then
want to make your people part 2 of those 3 words we have left?
will you return to lead? I guess you're saying, right?
Well,
Yeah. And
Lead.
then we have 3 words at the end. I feel like we should say something about him being able to reply.
Yeah. Reply.
You can reply.
Reply, brother.
I think you should just say. I think you should just say reply or please reply.
I'm friend of Lionheart. He loves you and repents. Where are you?
We have 3 left.
No danger. Entering Dungeon. Will you return? Reply.
Will you return to lead? And we
To
still have
lead. Could
3
you say
words.
to lead? Will you return to lead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You return to
With
lead.
everything, we still have 3 words left that we can use.
I got
so-
it, guys. The last 3 words will be Noki says hi.
Oh Lord. Can we highlight the danger anymore rather than just saying in danger?
Great
What about
danger
Bloodwolf?
to the south.
Bloodwolf, great danger. What about that?
Or we can just say great danger to the south.
Far south. Because
Great
it's not
danger
just
far
it's not the
south?
dwarves. It's
Great
not the dwarves,
danger-
it's far
oh.
south.
Great danger in far south. And that's our limit. In far
Or just-
south.
Or just great
Good.
danger far south.
Far south, cut out in, and you've got one more
And then
word.
you can use that for reply.
All right. Anyone typing
Okay.
this out?
All right, cool.
You have it.
Yeah, I'm friend of Lionheart. He loves you and repents. Where are you? Great danger, far south. Entering Dungarn. Will you return to lead? Reply.
Yeah.
And that's 25. But Wesley doesn't trust me, so he has to do it himself.
That is big facts.
It's my stamp of approval,
Yeah, it
if
looks
that
good.
mattered.
All right.
Good job, team.
So we
All
have
right,
the
send
message.
it to the ethereal.
Okay, so Omen.
Watch, we went through all of this, and he's dead.
Yeah.
All right, so homage. God dang it.
Homage.
All right, so Omen. I want you to describe how you're casting the sending spell, and read out that message.
All right. So Omen doesn't usually do evocation magic. He's usually doing some sort of enchantment or transmutation or something like that. And so this is almost outside of his wheelhouse. And so I kind of imagine this as, so remember, he's a divine being. So I kind of see him being able to see like the threads of reality and manipulate it, and that's kind of like how his magic is affecting the world. And so I kind of imagine he kind of like closes his eyes and opens up his senses to this world, right?
Where he has a single strand leading to every living being.
Exactly. Damn you. Damn you. Get out of my brain. I'm going to charge you rent. And he goes and he searches to find this man who has been described to him in just painstaking detail, this Goliath who's about barely an inch taller than Illios, always wears green, is never found without a spear, will never bring up a shield, and he's just going and just kind of just kind of going super fast across the land, trying to find this strand. And so Molly, does the strand find any like signal? Like, is it finding a direction as he's going and searching out
Does
through
he
this?
find the strand that leads to the owl, Molly?
As you're searching through these multiple strands, kind of pouring over every one of them in this instance, one is highlighted.
So he goes and he grabs onto that strand and just goes to the end of the strand. And once he finds the mind behind this strand, he kind of almost like takes up residence inside and begins to say in his most like calming, this almost like imagine like a divine being speaking to you, right?
Say it.
I'm friend of Lionheart. He loves you and repents. Where are you? Great danger far south. Entering Dungarn. Will you return to lead? Reply. He's back.
Right. So as you complete the message, it was very cool. As you complete the message, Omen, and you start to go back, but you can't.
I knew it.
There's silence and static. The best way to describe it would be some kind of discordant rhythm.
The Barshman.
This is quite interesting. From these first words, Omen, these words are in Celestial.
Bish.
By the way, Molly, this is pure BS, but I'm okay with it.
I recognize this magical signature. Who are you? Yes, Externus. You go to the savages. Interesting. I greet you back to this world. Omen. In session. What is the sounded section? Okay. You found the strand. You found it.
And y'all thought this would
And I'll
be
end the
easy.
broadcast.